Hi friends, today we've got a wonderfully delicious piano tutorial for you to devour. We're going to be taking a look at Pure Imagination as performed by Timothee Chalamet in the movie Wonka. Alright, so let's get started. We're going to be here in the key of E major. So we have 4 sharps there: F sharp, G sharp, C sharp, and D sharp. So what we're going to be working with here in the verse is basically a 2-5-1 chord progression, but it's going to be spiced up a little bit. Okay, so basically 2-5-1, if you're not familiar with that, we're here in the key of E major. So if we start on our 2, that's going to be our F sharp, our 5 is B, and our 1 is E. So those are going to be kind of the 3 chords we're using: F sharp minor, B, and E. But we're not going to be playing it exactly like that, as you noticed in the beginning of this video. But let's get started here with our first chord. And we're going to start here on our F sharp minor chord, like I mentioned. F sharp, C sharp, F sharp, C sharp. We're going to throw in our E here, which is going to be our 7th. And then this B on top is going to be where our melody sits, okay? And that B is like the 11th on top. And then you can play this A here as well if you're doing a bit of an arpeggio in the left hand there, or if you can stretch like that, okay? So this is going to be our first chord, our F sharp minor 7 chord at 11, if you want to say so. All right, so now let's move on to our 5 chord, which is going to be B, but it's not going to look exactly like a B. The way I like to play it looks something like this, and it really gives it a nice, warm, jazzy sound there, okay? So basically, if we start with our basic B chord, we'll play B, F sharp, and B, okay? We're gonna add the 7th here, which is gonna be A, and I like to play those both with the thumb, actually. Keep it nice and simple like that. And then in the right hand, we're actually gonna add a little bit of color here with the C sharp and E, which are kind of starting that melody there. And then we go up to our B on top. So it's kind of like a B7 chord with some extra things added in here, like a suspended 4th here. But you could also look at it like kind of like an A chord here with a B in the bass. And that's a nice sound too. So that's a really nice colorful chord. I'm just gonna, for simplicity's sake, gonna call it a B7 there, but this is basically what I'm playing. All right, lastly now moving on to our 1 chord in this progression, we're gonna be playing this, which is an E major 7 over a G sharp chord, okay? A little bit of a funky thing here too, but basically it's an E chord, but we're gonna start with our G sharp in the bass, fill out the rest with E and G sharp here, G sharp, B, and then the melody is going to be on top on our D sharp. That's going to be the major 7th there. Okay? All right, so now let's look at those 3 chords that make up that 2-5-1 progression, okay? So we're starting here with our F sharp minor 7 chord. Go to our B7 chord, and then our E major 7 chord with the G sharp in the bass, okay? Adding in a little bit of melody to that, that sounds like this. There you go. And you see there in the second line, everything pretty much stays the same. The melody is just going to be a little bit lower, so you can kind of find where those notes are here. Like that, okay? Now continuing on with this verse, it's going to repeat a lot of the same stuff here. Just like before. Okay, and now we're gonna add a new chord right here. All right, and what's that? We're gonna be playing actually a G sharp chord. Now this G sharp chord, I'm gonna play it here. We're gonna play G sharp, D sharp, G sharp, C here, and then the D sharp on top. And that's funky because we have C, which is not in our key of E, right? Basically, we're taking our B and making it a sharp here, so it's a B sharp or basically a C, and playing this chord, which really, transforms this chord, which is really nice. And that's how we're gonna end our verse, okay? All right, let's move on now to the chorus. There's a few different chords we have to learn here. So we're gonna start with just a nice easy A major chord here in kind of the chorus part. A, C sharp, E, A, C sharp, and then the E on top is our melody, okay? And then we're gonna go to an E major 7 chord. So E, B, E, G sharp, B, and D sharp. Got it? So that's kind of our first line. Second line now, we're gonna go back to our basic 2-5-1. Okay, so again, those chords just like what we played before. F sharp minor 7, B7, and then our E. Now this time we're gonna actually have an E in the bass, okay? You can even play a major 7 there. Okay, let's look at those first couple lines of the chorus there. So we have our A to E major 7, F sharp minor 7, B7, and E, okay? Let me add a little bit of melody there. All right. Continuing on, we're gonna go to another funky chord here, which is gonna be a D sharp major chord. So D sharp, A sharp, D sharp, the G here, that's not in our key, and then we continue with D, A sharp, and D sharp, okay? I'm gonna go up to just the same chord, but with a G in the bass, okay? And then we're gonna finish here with our G sharp minor chord, okay? This one similar to our G sharp that we played before, but with just the B there instead of the C, okay? G sharp, D sharp, G sharp, D sharp, G sharp, the B, and D sharp. Ugh. Okay, so that was D sharp over G, and G sharp minor. Finishing that up, we're gonna go to a C sharp suspended chord. So C sharp, G sharp, C sharp. There's our fourth, the suspension, F sharp, and then G sharp and C sharp on top. And then we're gonna drop it down to kind of resolve that, going to a C sharp 7. C sharp, G sharp, B, F, G sharp, and C sharp. Just like that. And then we're gonna finish right here with just a nice, easy F sharp chord, okay? F sharp, C sharp, F sharp, A sharp, C sharp, and F sharp. There you go. Whew, lots of tricky chords there. Let's take a look at all that slowly, kind of playing along with the melody. There you go. So that wraps up the chorus, and then you go back into one last verse at the end where it's gonna pretty much be exactly the same as before. Let me start that. First line like that, and then in the second line, we're gonna just wrap up the song with this chord progression here. All right, so starting there on the F sharp minor chord, we're now gonna go to an E over G sharp chord, kind of like we played before, but we're just kind of gonna start walking up, you see, here in the bass. So we go from our F sharp minor 7 to our E over G sharp. We're gonna keep walking up with this A chord here, okay? A, E, A, C sharp, E, and then our melody is here on our F sharp. And then finish with a B chord, B, F sharp, B, D sharp, F sharp, melody on top here. And then end with a nice big E chord, okay? That last little walk up there. There you go, and that's gonna wrap up this song and this tutorial of Pure Imagination from Wonka. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you enjoyed this style of tutorial or if you had comments about too fast for you, too slow. I would love to hear your feedback down below. And let me know down in the comments if you have any other songs you would like to see a tutorial for. I'd be happy to check those out. Have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video.